Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to a new episode of Cut to Movies with Vivek and Viru. Just before we dive in, we'd like to give you a disclaimer that this episode is filled with spoilers. So please do watch the film first. Unless, of course, you don't have an issue with spoilers, in which case.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Cut 2 with Vivek and Viru. And today we are back in India. In fact, we have traveled back in time to 2003. It's a Tamil film. It flopped at the box office, but then it kind of became a classic. Vivek, tell us about the film.
Yes, this film is called Anbe Sivam or Love is God. It's directed by Sundar C. This film is about two people and how their lives intertwine in the most unexpected of ways. It's about an ad filmmaker, Anbarasu, played by R. Madhavan, and his co-passenger, Nala Sivam, played by Kamal Hassan. And this movie takes us on a journey that explores politics, love, and belief in a higher power or lack thereof.
एक तो it stars like Kamal Hassan and Madhavan. So that is why it interested me because एक तो मतलब एक genius है, दूसरा भी is like a decent actor, good actor who have been following and all. तो ये सोचा कि चलो देखते हैं. कमल हसन का one of the best works में से माना जाता है. I don't know if that is true, but that is what I had read. So I said ठीक है. Plus the fact that it became like a classic after it came onto TV and people watched it multiple times. Initially it was a flop, which happens to most of the work by Kamal Hassan, like after 2000 or so. जो भी है उसने बहुत सारे ऐसे कॉन्सेप्ट फिल्म्स बनाए हैं. कुछ तो उसमें ऐसा बहुत सारा कीड़ा रहता है and there are like deep philosophical thoughts in them, but they don't really translate into a great interesting movie. Or maybe people look for masala which doesn't come out. तो वो चलता नहीं है. तो maybe this was also that. I had mixed feelings about it. What about you?
Overall, I was pretty happy, I think, in the end, the entire experience that the film gave me. But yeah, I mean, there are, of course, a few points within the film that were that made me a bit uncomfortable while I was watching it. Like one of them was, of course, it felt like two films to me. One was Nalla Sivam's or Kamal Hassan's flashbacks and his story, his character arc felt like one film and the love story, and the other film felt like the character arcs meeting Madhavan and Kamal Hassan's character arc kind of meeting each other. That felt like an other film altogether. Of course, it all comes back together in the end, but still I felt that was a bit odd, at least for me.
पहले तो I felt that there has to be some leap in terms of the time, like between the story that has happened between Madhavan and Kamal Hassan and the flashback, which later on turns out to be not more than a few months or a year or so, which felt odd, really odd. So वो end का मेरे को कुछ हजम नहीं हुआ. Suddenly seeing that heroine there, it felt really, really odd. I was thinking that there was a generation gap between the two. But it's like a Tamil film. It's like an Indian film. So yeah, older actors can become like almost Big Brother and वैसे करके. And even the transformation that happens, though the transformation is excellent because Kamal Hassan is that good, but then the two characters, like the person before the accident and after the accident, seem to be completely different. If I don't know if it happens because of his disfigurement and
his experience.
His experience after that, maybe that is why he changes into this man, a completely different man. But I felt that there was no similarity between the man before the accident and after it, except the ideals, of course. वो communist होता है, जो काम कर रहा होता है, वही वो continue कर रहा रहता है. Character wise, it seemed completely different. Plus मेरे को माधवन का character बहुत over the top लगा. I don't know. Maybe it is like a 2003 film. It's a dated film, and I'm watching it today. And if the same actors or same people would have done it today, maybe it would have been completely different in the way they approach the scenes and the discussions and all of that. But वो मेरे को थोड़ा सा over the top, like the first half an hour, तो I was like, what the hell is happening? This physical comedy, it's not even funny to me. What is happening? मतलब and Madhavan's character was really irritating. I mean, वो थोड़ा क्लीशेड वाला जो सिटी स्लिकर और वैसा रहता है जिसको मतलब एसी चाहिए मुझे एकदम स्नूटी वाला वैसा टाइप का है बट द अप्रोच टू द कैरेक्टर इज लाइक टू आई डोंट नो थोड़ा ओवर द टॉप था आई डिडंट लाइक द आई वाज नॉट एंजॉयिंग द performance at all.
Yeah, I mean, it was OTT, but I think most South Indian films, like even when we were watching Sarpatta Parambarai as well, I think there was a lot of physical comedy that they tried to bring to the action with Rose and his boxing skills, etc. But I think South Indian films, they have that.
हाँ, I think वो मास का अपील के लिए था. हाँ, like the fact that वो दरवाजा खुलता है और वो सीधा स्विमिंग पूल में गिर जाता है. I mean.
Correct. Yeah. And also, like, if you think about it, how did the girl agree to even marry a guy like him? She seemed completely okay in the end with him, right?
Yeah.
In the so
he seems
after
like
going
a jerk. He seems like a bad person overall. I mean, वो उसका कैरेक्टर में मेरे को थोड़ा सा खराबी लगा. मतलब the way it is written, neither is he like good boy. He just keeps switching very conveniently between someone who will hit someone ऐसे पंच मार देगा नाक से खून निकालेगा to someone who will say अरे you are my brother I see God in you type.
Like you're talking about the OTT moments. I feel in a lot of moments which were supposed to showcase grief, they switch to humor in a split second as if
absolutely,
you know. Like one of the scenes I clearly remember after the train crash when he's kind of looking at all of those dead bodies and suddenly the thief kind of emerges from the train, right? And that turns into a funny scene where the thief is now asking everyone to kind of go and get their stuff and pay 10 rupees to that sadhu who, I mean, that suddenly that scene turns into a comical that comical element doesn't make sense at all.
Agree.
And there were a lot of scenes like that. There were a lot of scenes like that when you're feeling sad, or I mean, when you're feeling introspective, and suddenly the emotion of the narrative kind of switches into something else, and you're like, "What the hell just happened?"
Correct. I mean, see, the Kamal Hassan का character जैसे दिखाया है, he finds this. There is like sadness within him, and he finds humor in various things. तो वो ठीक था. बट ये जो सिचुएशन मतलब उसका जो रिएक्शन होता है यू नो दैट इट्स लाइक ही इज जस्ट रिएक्टिंग टू बी फनी इन दैट मोमेंट एंड मेकिंग द सिचुएशन लाइटर राइट बट वो जो सीन था तू जो बोला लाइक ही इज वॉकिंग वो माधवन इज वॉकिंग थ्रू द डिस्ट्रक्शन एक तो वो फनी वाला बॉडी पड़ा था वेयर आई ऑल्सो लाफ्ड क्या हेड उसका बच्चे का एक साइड पे पड़ा और बॉडी आई मीन ओके it was really bad art direction or production but वो ठीक है but then the scene is like basically extremely moving तो वो उसको जो move and suddenly that comedy scenes happen I mean I'm like क्यों हो रहा है true
correct
मेरे को भी नहीं समझा
even that scene where the little kid dies in the ambulance and Madhavan is actually crying and I hope Kamal Hassan is trying to make a point there about life and how how death can kind of occur to anyone and everyone but I think the way the scene kind of carries itself and you see the doctor and the nurse stretching outside the ambulance it was just I mean the entire setup was a bit weird for me I didn't know like what are they trying to say like oh yeah people die and that's the way of life. I don't know like what were they trying to suddenly tell us.
I don't know. The only point that came out from that scene is probably that I see God in you. I mean someone who cries on the death
for
of someone for a stranger I see God in you so that point came through but otherwise like yeah you are right वो पीछे कुछ तो random चीज हो रहा है तो that kind of seems funny but yeah I don't know it's like Kamal Hassan the writer and the mad genius post like 2000 I think most films कुछ तो odd है उसके इसमें I mean वो होता है ना जीनियस थोड़ा सा आने के बाद there is a thin line between being a genius and then going a little off the track तो वहां पे वो थोड़ा है कहीं कहीं वो भटक जाता है, कहीं वापस आता है. तो I don't know. Matlab, it's again, I think he's also trying to figure out a balance between melodrama, giving people what they want and saying what he wants to do, wants
Correct.
to say.
Yeah.
तो
Yeah.
वो सबके बीच में ना, it's like he's trying to say so many things. Like communism है, फिर atheism है. You also have the similar feeling of God being everywhere in each one of
Yeah.
us, right?
Yeah,
Rather
yeah.
than like an idol. तो वो वाला part जो है. Then there is this whole love angle which is also there, which is like the classic tale of rich girl and poor guy. Plus there is this whole two people का ये conversation that is happening. तो too many things are happening. और वहां पे वो एक problem मुझे लगा कि he is trying to tackle and say too many things. And उसमें ये सब खिचड़ी वो बन रहा है,
Yeah.
जिसकी वजह से like nothing is coming out strongly. I don't know why it became a cult film. Maybe it's because of Kamal Hassan's performance, or maybe people also liked some of the scenes and some of the humor and some of the emotional depth.
It's not a bad film, so I'm sure it is kind of a mixture of Kamal Hassan's reverence and, of course, R. Madhavan's fan base, and also the story is not all that bad. Yeah, it tries to cook up a storm, but it fails to do so. But I think overall, it still manages to engage you. Like not a single moment I felt. I mean, one thing, it didn't have too many songs. Like South Indian films have so many songs, and it didn't have that. So and
Kamal
plus,
Hassan
I
has
think,
sung 3 of the songs.
yeah, yeah.
So he's done a lot of things here. Actually, he is the creator of the film, and then he found out like directors. तो पहले तो वो प्रियदर्शन से बात किया था उसने. Who gave him the idea of adding this whole love story and all, and after that there was some creative difference, और फिर उसको last minute पे ये सुंदर को लिया.
Who will basically do whatever Kamal Hassan says. Yeah, that's the point.
Maybe. So yeah, I mean, yeah, character wise भी मतलब वो मेरे को villain का भी थोड़ा सा अजीब सा लग रहा था. मतलब वो कभी एकदम ही villainous हो जाता है, कभी he's like okay, I don't believe in violence and all of that. Maybe he's like a shrewd guy जो सामने एकदम भोला बनने की कोशिश हो सकता है. Maybe I'm nitpicking.
No, you're right. The thought that comes to my mind right now, that one is when one person kind of takes over the entire project, it becomes, of course, a bit self-indulgent. And also what happens is that person's character outshines anyone else's character. So here, like in this film, you don't see villain as I mean, there are no scenes that makes the villain actually a villain. Love stories half-baked. You know, the whole association between him and Madhavan's character is almost incomplete. So all of it seems like Kamal Hassan's character, but if you, at the end of the day, if you see Kamal Hassan's character, he shows his acting chops with the whole transformation.
That is true.
And he tries to fit in so many things in one movie. So maybe that's the villain, in the real villain of.
But maybe that is why people like it. वो कमल हसन का परफॉर्मेंस देख रहे हैं, वो सब उसका ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन ऑल ऑफ देख रहे हैं, बाकी सब गया तेल लेने. मतलब वैसे भी हो सकता है. Maybe that's also a good thing.
Yeah.
ये 2003 में था, and it started off in like Bhubaneswar, and that sent me back in time because I was in Bhubaneswar in 2004.
Oh.
Yeah, I worked in Infosys in Bhubaneswar in 2004 ना. तो वो एकदम मस्त में मैंने देखा, अरे ये क्या, ये एयरपोर्ट, अरे ये तो भुवनेश्वर में. Awesome man. Though I couldn't find any resemblance between the scene, मतलब places that they have shown and what Bhubaneswar was, but maybe वो different location पे होगा. I don't know.
But did it rain as much as they showed in Bhubaneswar?
It was extremely hot because when I was there, it was summer, and वहां पे मतलब 48-50 डिग्री सेल्सियस होता था. इन्फोसिस के अंदर तो इट्स फाइन, बट व्हेन यू आर एट होम ऑन वीकेंड्स इट्स लाइक क्रेजी. उसमें एक स्पेशल गाली, इफ यू रिमेम्बर, इसमें भी वो टैक्सी वाला उसको गाली दे रहा होता है, तो वो बोल रहा होता भौनी गया.
हाँ.
एंड वो तेरे पास तेरे सिस्टर है क्या तेरी, तो वो बेसिकली बीसी है, एमसीबीसी वाला बीसी.
Okay, got it.
तो उसको पूछता है तेरी सिस्टर है क्या, तो बोलता है नहीं है.
नहीं है.
तो बिकॉज वो उसकी सिस्टर को गाली दे रहा होता है वैसा. और कोरमंडल एक्सप्रेस से वो लोग निकलते हैं. आई वेंट फ्रॉम भुवनेश्वर टू चेन्नई आफ्टर 4 months ऑफ माई ये ट्रेनिंग. आई वॉज पोस्टेड इन चेन्नई, सो आई स्पेंट अ ईयर देयर आफ्टर दैट. तो ये जर्नी में जो 2 लोकेशन है, दोनों पे मैं 2004 में गया था, ये 2003 में रिलीज हुई थी.
Yeah, you just had to have a Nala Sivam.
नहीं तो मैं मिल लेता वो
Yeah.
लोग. For Kamal Hassan lovers, I think they would have seen it. नहीं देखा होगा तो they should try see it because it's supposed to be one of the classics, cult classics. I don't know. We have been too critical about it. Maybe I have been, not you. And we have, yeah, it's like mixed feelings about the film. Some things didn't work, and maybe we should just give it a break because it is like 2003 पुरानी picture है. Plus Kamal Hassan, it's a Kamal Hassan vehicle. So this is what is expected out of it. Maybe that is how it is. So yeah, I mean, people should tell us if they've seen it and they have their own takes on it. They should probably tell us what they feel about it. Let us know in the comment section what you feel about the film. And if you've not seen it, do give it a shot. It is both on Prime as well as on Mubi. And do let us know your comments if you felt the same. And also if there are any other points that we missed. And do follow us on our channels, especially our Spotify channel. क्यों विवेक?
Spotify सबसे पहले. Go and press that follow button.
All right. Bye guys.
Bye.